Welcome to Toffee TV. Here is the match preview, Everton v Arsenal, this Saturday, 12:30 at Goodison Park, joined by Steve Kelly. Steve, the battle of the caretaker managers, it looks like at the time of recording this. Both clubs look as though they're about to appoint new managers. Looks like Everton are going to appoint Carlo Ancelotti, and it looks like Arsenal are going to appoint Mikel Arteta, but neither of those deals have been confirmed yet. So it will be Ferguson versus Ljungberg, it looks like, at the moment. Arsenal not on a great run of form. No. Everton have picked up a little bit under Duncan Ferguson. But still a tough game for us, isn't it?
Definitely. I think, obviously, Arsenal's front line of Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe, that's where that's where they worry me. But anything else apart from that, really, I think we can match them. Obviously, since Ljungberg's come in, it hasn't really had probably the effect they thought it might have when they got rid of Emery. It's had probably the opposite to what it's had for us. We've had a big uplift.
We have,
big dunk has come in, and they've just stayed the same really since Ljungberg come in. But it's hard for them, isn't it? Because we all know what Arsenal's problems are. It's been the same problems for 5, 6, 7 years, defensive problems. And it's hard for a caretaker to go in and really change that from his point of view. So it's going to be a tough game. They've got goals in the team. And obviously we're lacking a bit of confidence at the back at the moment. We've obviously Keane and Mina last night as well. So yeah, it's going to be a tight game, I think. I think there'll be goals. But I think we've just got to get into them early, unsettle them. If we do that, I think we can go on and win the game, definitely.
It will be a tough game. They've got Pepe's obviously a good player. He hasn't done as well as he'd hoped so far, but he's come into a new league and all that. Scored against West Ham, didn't he?
He's got a great goal,
Good goal. So, he's a good player, no doubt about it. The two frontmen, Lacazette and Aubameyang, are brilliant. Aubameyang's incredible. But elsewhere on the pitch, they're not... Defensively, they're poor. And I think, the Arsenal fans would say that and can see that themselves. When David Luiz is someone you look to sort your defence out, it's an issue, isn't it?
Massively.
Goalkeepers a bit hot and cold. Leno can be brilliant, and then other times. But you're right, it's about Everton matching, being able to get in amongst them. And, obviously, Arsenal will have had the week to prepare for it. So their legs may be a bit fresher than us. They've probably got more players to choose from. Duncan Ferguson's had to battle on with a limited number of players. There was 8 players missing from the Leicester game in the Cup in the week. Hopefully, Sidibe and Sigurdsson will be available to join the squad for the weekend and make it a little bit stronger. Fabian Delph has got an outside chance of being involved in the squad as well. Realistically, I think he may play Sidibe and Sigurdsson at the weekend. I think he might make, because I think you need to put legs in the team, don't you? You can't continue to just go with the same lads and hope they can put another shift in, because they've ran themselves into the ground the last 3 games. But it's a game that I feel we can win. Be tough. It'll be tough. We had 2 clean sheets in the opening 2 games, and in the 15 Premier League matches, we've conceded at least once in 14 of the last 15. So, we're due a clean sheet. It's been a while since we had a clean sheet, obviously. Arsenal have won more Premier League games and scored more Premier League goals against Everton than they have against any other team. And that record is for quite a few teams, actually. We seem to be like quite a soft touch for the
we love giving people records, don't we? So,
but in fact, you'd have to go back to the 80s to find the last time we won consecutive home games against Arsenal.
Oh, really?
So it's about time that changed, isn't it? In April when we beat them, we competed really well. We matched them, and then in the end, we should have beat them comfortably.
The most probably comfortable 1-0, I think you'll see.
You'll see. They had a little spell after half time when Adam Ramsey come on, and they had a couple of opportunities, and then other than that, they weren't at the races. And Everton have got to make it like that this weekend. In terms of Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, who's he's an unknown quantity really as a football manager. We know he's been Pep Guardiola's assistant for the last 3 seasons. He's highly rated and all that. Even if he's confirmed as the manager, he's probably not going to have too much time to be able to alter much in terms of Saturday. It's going to be difficult for him, isn't it? Because obviously the transfer window's a couple of weeks away still. They're not playing with any amount of confidence. They only won 1 game in 10, I think it is, or something like that.
Their away record,
their away record,
I think, as well. So
they won the last time out, though. To be fair, it was the last time they won. They beat West Ham 3-1. What do you think he can do for them?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think with that. I think their attacking prowess is really good. Not many better than the league probably, but they're gonna have. I think he's gonna have problems until he can actually get his way of how he wants them to play. It's very easy saying he was with Pep, which is fair enough, but not many teams can play like Man City. Not many teams can play like Barcelona, like they did under Guardiola. Arsenal's biggest problem is they've got no one who shadows the back, who sits in front of the back four and does it in a disciplined way. So it's going to be hard. They're a bit like there's a lot of dead wood at Arsenal, which they're probably going to have to get rid of before you actually see the way Arteta will want them to play. I think. I think you could see a tough 6 months from Mikel Arteta. I really do. I don't think it's going to be. He's going to come in and everything's going to change. Yeah. I do. Like if you look at City when Guardiola come in, it took him a year until he got his stamp on really on
and they had to spend money,
the club, and he had to spend money. And I get the impression with Arteta and Arsenal, they're going to have to spend money to get where he wants them to get, because they're way off at the moment. They're probably very similar to us. So it's going to be a tough job for Mikel Arteta. I think he's got a big job on his hands, and it's whether he can. It's whether he's got the mental toughness as a manager to do it and to convince those players that the way he wants to play. We're all getting this impression that he wants to play like Guardiola. We don't know at the end of the day. But that's the impression that's coming across, that he wants that way of playing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you'd have to say, wouldn't you? You'd have to say that, or you'd have to think rather that he would mirror what he's been doing at City. Yeah. But you're right, there's not many teams can play like City. Arsenal haven't spent anywhere near the money that City spent, and are they going to spend anywhere near that amount of money to get it? Have they got the players there now who are good enough to do it? No, they're not. And so you'd have to start from a solid base, don't you? And I suppose his first challenge will be trying to get the defence organised and maybe bring a centre-back in. They've got, in some respects, they're a bit similar to us, really, in that they need to get the spine of the team sorted and kind of go from there. At times they can be great, Arsenal, the way they play footy, but at other times they're very soft-centred. I mean, they're without a clean sheet in the last 14 games as well.
Doesn't surprise
Same as us. Really? So, both teams aren't great defensively. Everton have scored a league high share, 65% of their Premier League goals in the first half of games this season. Meanwhile, only the bottom 3 sides have conceded more goals in the opening 45 minutes than Arsenal. Okay. So, which is a bit... Yeah. I would have thought Everton had scored more goals in the second half than the first half, but who knows? I mean, both teams, like you say, we're not great defensively because we've had to change our defence a lot. Yeah. We've had Mason Holgate and Yerry Mina seem to be a better fit for each other. But obviously we've lost midfield play, so Holgate had to come out of defence and go into midfield. Luca Dean's out, so Leighton Baines is in. Arsenal have lost Kieran Tierney, so they've had people like Chambers, centre-back, and Socrates and Louis. They've mixed and matched as well. And that's the biggest indicator that for when teams are unsettled, when the back four changes regularly, isn't it? Sometimes it's injury and other times it's someone looking for consistency. And I think Unai Emery just couldn't get that balance and ultimately he lost his job. And you're right, Lundberg went in and they were probably looking for a little bit of a bounce. And, their last 4 results, they drew at Norwich. Yeah. They lost at home to Brighton. They beat West Ham 3-1 and then they end up getting beat 3-0 at home by Manchester City. So a mixed bunch again since he's been in charge. So I suppose... You
would have thought it would have had a bit of a bigger impact with him being the invincible and all that.
But it's like you said though, if they haven't got the players to if you haven't got the players to do kind of the thing he wants them to do, it's difficult, isn't it? You can give players energy, or you can try something different that the other manager wasn't trying, to try and get a little bit of confidence going. But if you've only got a certain type of player, you know, then you have to ask the question, would Unai Emery have done any better? Well, Arsenal fans will say that no, and they wanted him out for a reason. You know, maybe they're a bit disappointed with how long it's taken to secure the new manager. I was surprised, I really was surprised that they didn't make more of a play for Ancelotti, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I really was.
He feels like he would have been a good fit for them as well.
Lived in London before, got a house in London, I think, and things like that. So I thought they might go for him, or Allegri. If I was them, I know Brendan Rodgers was tipped very heavily to go there, and I don't know whether Arsenal didn't want to pay the buyout clause for him.
Yeah.
I don't know whether Rodgers would have gone, but Arsenal are a bigger club than Leicester, with bigger potential, so you would have imagined he probably would have gone there. Whether they thought that he was a bit of a gamble, I don't know, but he's a good manager. But I really thought he'd go for Allegri, the ex-Juventus manager. Yeah. I really did, and I thought he's a really good fit for them. He's a well-respected coach.
They tried to get him, I think, before Emery last time.
Won stuff, and I think he just suits. You look at some managers and you think they suit that club, and I think he'd have done really good for them.
Especially for what they're needing as well, like a solid base.
A solid base and then rebuild. But I don't know whether they might have inquired about him. He might want to stay in Italy, or he might want a different job. I don't know, but I would have thought if he wanted to try his luck somewhere else, Arsenal would have been a good club to go to.
Because you think with Arteta as well, is he really going to bring that stability to Arsenal as well? Is he going to bring that stable base of what they're asking for?
It's a flip of a coin, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, it is with most managers.
Yeah.
He could be absolutely brilliant for them, or it could be the wrong decision to make for them, because it's a big job, and there's a lot of scrutiny around Arsenal because they are a big club.
Yeah.
And he's never had any of that experience before. Sometimes it works well, other times it backfires. We won't know until he's been in and done the job, and we won't know anything this season anyway, because regardless of how this season goes, whether it be good, bad, indifferent, it's still a honeymoon period or whatever. So if it goes really well, you have to be a bit cautious, like with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah.
And if it goes not great, you also have to be a bit cautious, because he's got to try to get, like you said before, he's got to try to get his points across to the players and all of that. So, you know, in terms of Everton, you know, Duncan Ferguson's been confirmed to be in charge for the Arsenal game at the weekend. So, I mean, it's what we expected anyway. It's at the time of doing this, it's Thursday. It's too late, really, for any manager to do anything, really, now with the team. So, Duncan, you know, he kind of said it in his press conference. He expected to be in charge.
I think he said it and realised he'd said it, and it
hadn't
been confirmed.
It is what it is. But for him, you know, we spoke on the final word for the Leicester game about how the impact he's had on it. Yeah. What, in terms of if it is Carlo Ancelotti coming into that, how do you see those two working together? Because obviously, when you see Ancelotti, he always seems very calm and controlled on the line. And Duncan's very much, you know, has been very much passionate, and as well as showing good tactical now. So you think they could be a good fit?
Yeah, I do. I think Duncan can learn so much from him. I think you've got the calmness and the thinker in Ancelotti, and then you've got Dunk, who's he looks like he's got that thinking side, but he's also up and about and on the touchline, demanding off the players as much as possible. And I think from Dunk's point of view, I think with Ancelotti coming in, like there's not many better CVs in the game if you're looking at his CV, and I think Dunk can definitely learn so much from the man. His knowledge is when he was obviously AC Milan, Bayern Munich, Chelsea. So I think it will be a good match. And obviously Ancelotti's worked with like a club legend type thing before when he was at Chelsea with Ray Wilkins, and I know he also employed a lot of other youth team coaches who were ex-Chelsea, like I think like Jody Morris, Eddie Newton, all them type of people were brought into the club as well. So I think for Dunk it's going to be massive for him, and it'll hopefully develop him into our next manager after and if Ancelotti gets the job. So,
As for Saturday then, what do we have to do to win this game in your opinion?
I think getting early goal is important. I think the game's going to be won at the top end of the pitch for both teams. Midfields are pretty similar, I'd say. I don't think they've really got much creativity in centre of the park. They've got very same Torreira, Guendouzi and Xhaka. And we've got obviously what we've got at the moment.
I mean, do you expect Sigurdsson to come back into that starting lineup?
If he's fit, I think he might come in for Tom.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you think we'll go 4-4-2 again? Or do you think he may go with what we finished against Leicester with 4-3-3?
Yeah, I think he might go with how we finished against Leicester. Because I think Dunkel demand on Saturday is to give him one big last push and send Dunk off on a high, rather than like we don't want the memory of obviously Wednesday with the penalty shootout. I think Dunk will be demanding that we get all 3 points, and he goes out with 7 points out of his 3 games, which is a brilliant return if he can. So I think an early goal, and we've got to be very wary of them on the break as well with Pepe, Aubameyang, Lacazette, whoever they decide to go with. So I just think we need to punish them. If we get a chance, we need to take our chances.
Do you think we need to sit deep? Not give them space, because Aubameyang is lighting the pair of them are really
they are. It depends obviously how they set up as well, because I know Lacazette hasn't been playing for them much recently as well. So I think we do. Their pace, Aubameyang's ridiculously pace. This pace on the break, and it depends if they might defend deep and play on the break type of way of playing. So I think we'll probably have to defend deep due to the pace of our centre backs. But
I can see us giving them the ball because of they will naturally play possession football, because that's what.
Well, they like playing from the back of the goalkeeper, don't they, as well? And so we've kind of knocked that in the head the last couple of weeks, where we're just getting the ball forward as quick as possible, and they won't like it. They won't like you getting stuck into them. I remember last season when Dom absolutely tore that Socrates to bits as well.
Did, and I think he'll fancy it, Dom. I think this is the game, these kind of games he fancies, and I think the crowd will be up for it for all of the reasons you've just said. That Duncan's last game, they're a big side, Arsenal, big club, so it's an exciting game. It's an opportunity for Everton if they could win, get higher up the table, pull ourselves.
I think they'll put us a point behind Arsenal.
Yeah, we go a point behind them if we won. So it's a chance to get into that middle section of the league,
And it puts us into a few more favourable fixtures then.
Well, it does, and listen, these are dangerous on the break. I like the look of Martinelli. They're another good lad, They've got some good Willicks, good exciting play. They've got good exciting players at the top end of the pitch, but it's the midfield and to the defence where the problems are lying. You could be right, this could be like a 3-2 either way. Hopefully for us we can hang on and and beat them, because it's
get stuck into them early on. They don't like it. Arsenal never liked it when you get into them early as well.
Listen, they're a footballing team, aren't they? And that's the way it is. They like to play football, and if you can do a little bit of what we did against Chelsea, which is harry them and press them and get tackles in, then they will make mistakes, and then we can beat them. Chelsea for me are a better side than Arsenal, certainly at the moment.
Definitely.
And we were good, very good against Chelsea, so there's no reason why we can't maybe repeat that feat on Saturday, but it will be very difficult. And like you say, just go out, give Duncan a big performance. The crowd will play their part.
They could potentially have the new manager. We could potentially have the new manager in the stands as well.
Well, both could.
Yeah.
Couldn't he?
So there's a lot for those players to show the new manager as well, because there's players, I'm not saying there's futures on the line, but there's certain players who probably need to start up in the game to show them the new manager what they can do.
We have to be wary with that as well, of course, for them, because if Mikel Arteta is confirmed, and I'm sure he will be by the time the game's kicked off, then they'll be trying to impress him as well. But we've got the crowd and everything else with us. Home advantage, hopefully will separate the two sides. It normally does at the Emirates when we go there. It's normally their home advantage favours them very much. So
nice little 12:30 kick-off.
12:30, let's get in, get up for it, and let's get a great positive result for Christmas.
Send Dunk out on a high.
Send Dunk out on a high.
Deserves it.
Certainly does. Let us know what you think in the comments section below about this one. Tough game for both sides, really. Could be both caretaker managers' final game in charge of the club. So let us know whether you're confident. Arsenal fans, are you confident if you're watching this? Subscribe if you haven't, give the video a thumbs up. Join us on Patreon if you want more great videos. Big thanks to Steve for coming and joining me. See you later.